This is Batman issue number 12 from the New 52. Remember that? This is abysmal. This is one of the worst comics I have ever had the displeasure of reviewing. Even this cover by Greg Batman, it's like he didn't give a flying fuck. This is written by Snyder and it's drawn by two different artists, and they couldn't be more different if they tried. The main artist is this. It's Becky Cloonan, and if you cannot tell already, this is annoying hipster shite. It is Marvel level of insufferable. It's all about this retcon character called Harper, and she is brilliant at everything. So here is 22 pages of her being brilliant. The idea is that she's like smarter than Batman, and she has no real personality beyond her being the best at things. Here we have some enormous somersaults to try and insert her into an odd Batman issue where it was clearly not her. And then her and Jarvis, they have a long chat, and this is just what you are thinking. It's all characters falling around to validate this awful new character. Then she goes home and something has happened to her brother. The idea is that they have shaved the back of his head because he is gay and they are homophobes. And it's not clear at all what is meant to have happened here. Both the writing and the art fail to communicate what the bullies were meant to have done to him. But if you skip forward to the second artist, you can see quite clearly what's meant to have happened is they've just shaved patches out of the back of his hair with like an electric razor. And that's very mean. But Rebecca Conan's art, it's so rubbish, there's no hint of that at all. Like, there's no evidence that... I mean, let's scan back, right, when he appeared at the start. Like, his hair barely looks any different. So this art, it isn't very good to begin with, but it isn't capable of doing its job of communicating a very basic and easy idea. It is a failure in every possible way. Then Harper, she's so brilliant, she shaves her head too. And that is just two boys. That's two men. There's nothing female about this body here. At first, I wasn't even sure which one was meant to be which. And then down here, that's just a boy. There's nothing feminine about this form. This is a boy that has been drawn. And this isn't me being like closed-minded or transphobic or anything like that. I mean, artistically, down to the anatomy, no effort has been made to distinguish this female character from a male character. I would argue that this art is pretty fucking sexist and transphobic itself. It's taken an entire gender, female, and it has boiled it down to a pale copy of male. This character isn't written as being androgynous or anything like that, but even androgyny doesn't mean you just draw women as men. This comic though, it takes about a week to read because it's so unpleasant and dismal. It's just all about her. Nobody cares about Harper. Nobody cares about this new character that you are forcing in the books and forcing into a role. And Batman, remember him, the star of the book? Well, he's only in it to predictably write up this perfect Mary Sue. Her and her brother, they get mugged, but didn't worry, she was more than willing to beat up the muggers herself. But surprisingly, she gets beat to it by Batman. Batman's appearances in this, they are very short, and if I really wanted to, if I broke down the plot into its mechanics, everything that Batman does in this issue, it is all in service of Harper Rose and her character, and putting her into a position to flatter her character. This is really, really bad writing and plotting. It is so transparent on every page. This is just a story that exists to push Harper Rose and for DC to boast about how there is this cool alternative, barely female who is better than Batman. With Batman, there is no character for him in this. He is just a prop. He's dragged out for Harper Rose because obviously the focus is on the perfect female character who is so brilliant that she has to be retconned into Batman's history, and she ends up being able to fucking track Batman just through her brilliant scientific mind. She's an engineer, you see, an engineer. But she's able to build a fucking network to track Batman. And I hate this. I really hate this. This is all building to her ganning off on an adventure and saving Batman. And then after this advert, we have got an art change. And this art is so much better, and it does not go with the shoddy stuff from before. Apparently, this issue it is famous for being the first time a female artist ever drew Batman. But no one ever notes that she doesn't even do the full issue, and they had to get a bloke in to finish the job. Harper Rose, she saves Batman, and this is almost everything I hate about modern comics. It's a retcon, it's a pointless new character who adds nothing to Batman's mythos except some diverse progressive points for awful websites to praise. It is written entirely selfishly just to prop up this absolute horror of a character. Her entire existence is just being reaffirmed that she is brilliant. The only personality trait she has is that she is so selfless. She helps Batman, or she shaves her hair. She is terrible. This comic is terrible. And everything about this deserves this. This is the first comic I have destroyed in 2020. And I'd be surprised if it doesn't manage to be the worst comic I review in 2020. I really think it is one of the worst comics I have ever read. There's nothing worthwhile in this issue. People buy Batman because it's the flagship Batman book, and they want to read about Batman. And if you want to introduce a new character, go ahead and do it. But please, don't fucking do it like this. Maybe make your new character endearing or charming and build her up over short appearances over time. Don't rush in with your progressive cock-out and jizz woke cum onto the printing press and call it a story. 7 thumbs up from me.